Design patterns are a common way to solve a design problem, like a tab navigation or a hamburger menu. You would use them to speed up the development and design process by using tested and proven design standards. And design patterns are great. You just make things a little bit faster. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, right? The problem is when you as a designer, your only solutions are just design patterns. Does it mean that you're becoming lazy? Are you not challenging yourself enough? Are you not being innovative? But what is that anyway? On the other side, you cannot just create crazy patterns that no one will understand and no one will be able to use. You want to use patterns that are familiar to the user, making your product more accessible. So how do you find that balance between new and exciting, but unfamiliar, and boring and dull, but established? I don't know, but maybe just being aware about it is the first step. Okay, I need to go to work. Let's go. One of my highlights of the day is walking through Chinatown and then going through North Beach, just like such different places and just separated by a couple of blocks. And I love this bar. Vesuvio. A lot of history in this bar. Pretty cool. I'm here with Michael Lorton.
Hi.
Engineer here at Carbon. So Michael, what is the most annoying things we designers do?
Well, probably the most annoying thing, and it's a long list, but right at the top is when you're trying to get some work done and your designer comes by and wants to do a vlog about something. That's probably the worst.
What's the second worst?
When you ask a question about something and they go, just whatever you think is right. And then when you do whatever you think you're right, you're like, you didn't follow the spec, right? If you want me to follow the spec, then you got to give me all the details. If you want me to do it my own way, I'll just do it my own way. And you can save yourself that effort.
If we're going to give you the freedom to choose whatever you want, we should do that.
Yes, commit. Either commit to give me all the details or commit to letting me use my own judgment. In the specific case of me, don't let me use my own judgment. You won't like that. You know how the Hulk always says, don't get me angry? You wouldn't like me for I'm angry? You don't want to see something I would design.
There you go. Don't trust Michael's judgment. It has been a long day at work, Michael.
Yeah?
Do you think we solved all our problems with the UI?
No. Michelangelo said no work of art is ever finished. It is merely abandoned.
So you consider yourself like a Michelangelo with the coding?
I was thinking of you as Michelangelo.
Oh, as me? Okay, thank you.
I'm just a code monkey here. You're sitting here, you talk, I type.
And I record.
And for some reason you keep recording it.
Okay, well, I'm off work, and now I'm going to go with Gabriel Valvidia, designer from Facebook and VR. So here we are with Gabriel at his place. Oh, look at it. Such a nice place, dude. Gabriel, how is it working in VR?
It's an industry that is filled with uncertainty, and it's not as mature as the rest of design. So it's hard to find reference of how to do things, and it's hard to find time to invest in really high craft.
Yeah.
So a lot of the things that you see in VR today are very raw and unpolished.
Yeah.
Because everyone's just exploring and moving really fast, and technology itself is moving really fast. So as a designer, that is kind of tough sometimes, where we take a lot of pride and making things that are really well crafted. So it's not it's an industry that's a little bit unforgiving for that.
Yeah.
You can rely on things like on those patterns, and you can theoretically just put a giant screen in front of you and just use web conventions. You can do that, and a lot of people do because it works and it's easy and fast. But a lot of people are drawn into VR because of what that could be.
Yeah.
What you could turn that into. But just happens that that's very, very hard to do. It's very hard to make a better version of a grid, right? Because we're just so used to seeing grids everywhere.
Yeah.
And we've perfected what that means over the years, over decades. But we're just now understanding what does it mean to create UI that is contextual to where you are and that uses depth in a way that it actually enhances the experience. So it's a process. You can do two things. You can either say ignore all conventions, we're going to do something completely different, and shoot for that kind of high-end spectrum, or you can say we're going to take conventions and we're going to try to iterate one step at a time. Many times UI is the container for content.
Yeah.
So when it comes to VR, you may want to watch a video or play a game or something like that, and the UI just needs to get out of the way and become the way you browse that. So for that, a lot of people rely on conventions we have today. But it starts getting interesting when the UI and the experience itself start to meld, and the designer starts to design that experience. It's cool. I like it a lot because it's all about that exploration and asking yourself those questions.
You're probably going to be the one that sets some of those design patterns for the future. Whenever anyone else, when VR becomes a little bit more mainstream and a lot of more designers are starting to get into it, they're probably going to be looking at how Facebook did it, how Facebook solved this problem.
That's the dream. I mean, that's why we're doing it. It's not because we have 1 billion people in the platform. It's not because it's super glamorous or sexy to work there. But it's because maybe there's a small chance you're the person that made Pinch to Zoom for VR, the thing you don't think about. So I mean, that's what keeps me going, and that's the pragmatic, kind of practical side. There's the philosophical side, which is very stimulating as well. Thinking about spaces, thinking about ergonomics and feeling comfortable with the experiences that you design. That is amplified in VR. So I like those questions a lot.
So just finished talking to Gabriel about the project that we're working on for the design conference. And he showed me some of the stuff that he's working on at Facebook on VR. Pretty exciting stuff. I could not show it to you because of non-disclosure agreements, but I can tell you that it's amazing. It's really cool stuff, and apparently they're releasing it soon, so hopefully you get to see it soon too. That's it for me today. Bye-bye.